Here, read this.
Woof.
Good evening. It's November the 30th, 2025, and here is your poem for the day. Now, if you're of Scottish heritage, one way or another, you might be aware that November the 30th is St Andrew's Day. St Andrew is the patron saint of Scotland, and St Andrew's Day is a national holiday here in Scotland. I'm not Scottish myself, but I've seen more evidence of St Andrew's Day being celebrated overseas by people of Scottish descent than I have here in the centre of Edinburgh, the Scottish capital. And that is because the centre of Edinburgh has been completely conquered by Black Friday, that has completely quenched any trace of St Andrew's Day being a thing, which is a little bit sad, but there you go. So I thought I would do my little bit to counteract that by reading a Scots poem. So today I'm going to be reading a poem by a poet I'm not that familiar with. It's a poem called The Poacher to Orion by Violet Jacob. As usual, I'll read through the poem in one and then we'll talk a little bit about it afterwards. So here we go. November month is wearin by, the leaves is nearly doon. I watch ye stride alang the sky, a nichts, my beltit loon. The treetaps with their fingers bare spread between me and you. But weel in yonder frosty air ye see me keekin through. At school I learnt richt wearilie, the hunter was your name. Sma pleasure were ye then to me, but noo our trade's the same. But ye've a brawer job nor mine, and better luck nor me. For them that sees ye likes ye fine, and the pollis lets ye be. We're baith astir when men's asleep, a hunter I pursued. I hae by dyke and ditch to creep, but ye gang safe and prude. What maitter that? I'll no complain, for when we twa are met, we hae the nicht-watch for our ain, till the stars are like to set. Gang on, my lad, the warlds owreheid weel on their nichtly beat, and you'll mind ye as the skies ye tread, o' the brawer at your feet. So that's the Poacher to Orion, and appropriately, Orion does have a tangential role in Scots creation mythology. So Orion was sometimes given the name of An Bodach, the old man, or sometimes the one with a penis in Gaelic. That was the name given to the consort of Cailleach, the creatrix and divine hag of Gaelic mythology. Here, Orion and Bodach is hailed as my beltit loon. I love that line. Beltit as in belted, Orion's belt. Orion is wearing a belt. And loon is in Scots is a sort of friendly term for a knave, a scamp. It also has a very fitting echo of lunar. I'm sure you'll have been able to tell by how many cuts there were in that I found that quite tricky to read. It's because there's not as much Scots vocab. There's quite a lot of English terms. As far as I know, Violet Jacob was Scottish, but she was an aristocrat who wrote in Scots, which might have been interpreted as tousling her hair and accent. But there does seem to be quite a lot of English words, and it's somewhat inconsistent as well. So the word you sometimes appears as ye, as you often see it in Scots poetry, like Ferguson or whatever, ye. But when she needs a U to rhyme with through, it's YOU. And that always throws you off when you're trying to sort of read in Scots. Not that I'm trying to make excuses for my accent. But yeah, I rather like the sense of kinship between Poacher and Orion, the hunter. The Poacher getting chummily conspiratorial with the cosmos. It's actually a bit like another of Jacob's poems, The Wild Geese, which is one of her most famous poems, where the poet is in conversation with the north wind. She obviously likes these rather epic dialogues between speaker and nature. Here, a constellation, and in that poem, the north wind. By the end of the poem, it's like the two hunters have been carousing together for several hours and getting on famously. And so we end with the Poacher sending Orion on its way. Gang on, my lad, the world's owreheid weel on their nichtly beat. And you'll mind ye as the skies ye tread, or the brawer at your feet. So we end with the Poacher literally wishing on a star, asking for special dispensation from his brother in the trade, as the two of them creep off on their separate ways.